Okay, so it's been a little while since I posted about my health, and I apologize. My voice is going to be like this. After my gastrectomy a year and a half ago, that was performed with the intention to spare the remaining part of my esophagus that was no longer paralyzed from acid. I have now developed a different form of acid reflux, which sends the acid like all the way to my sinus, and now my voice box is scarred. I'm being treated for it. They're throwing some medication at me that's fairly new on the market because other attempts have failed. Other combinations of medication. And unfortunately, the surgical options that would be available for this are unavailable to me because of the altered, anatomy and issues that I have already. So a year and a half ago, when I first had the surgery, they had to do all of the testing before that, and found that my esophagus had been 60% paralyzed. So peristalsis is the method in which your esophagus, which is a straight pipe, pushes the food and the liquid, the solids and liquids down to your esophageal sphincter, which connects your stomach and your esophagus. Unfortunately for me, mine doesn't work, and this was the prognosis a year and a half ago. So just imagine how much worse it's gotten. So it tries to overcompensate then with esophageal spasms, and imagine a straight pipe, and then imagine a slinky now going down the stairs. That's what my esophagus looks like, and the pain is, I have been told numerous times, akin to having a heart attack. And unfortunately, I suffer one every single day. So the reflux has caused reflux laryngitis. So if I don't respond to medication, this could be a permanent fixture in my life, which is kind of heartbreaking. The Botox treatment for my cervical dystonia, at least this time it didn't leave me with what they call the Botox flu, where I was bedridden for 2 weeks in horrible pain and goodness. But there have been some more developments because it primarily affects the left side of my shoulder, neck, and face, and now this eye is drooping. So who knows what that means. Oh, and achalasia. Now I have officially have achalasia. So instead of my esophagus being a straight pipe, at the very end of it, where it connects to my stomach, it's like a funnel. It comes down into the shape of like a bird's beak. So I can't get food or water in there. So many times, at least 20 times a day now, I do vomit. And it's completely unintentional, it's involuntary. There's no way to really predict what may or may not trigger it. I am taking some medication right now. I think it's a calcium blocker or something. It's trying to relax my esophagus to prevent those spasms, but of course they're still occurring, and they're very hesitant to put me on those medications to begin with because of the arteriovenous malformation in my brain, which I guess this could make it explode. So it's like super, super awesome all the time. Yeah, and I'm in though the tumor that I have is now the size of a melon, and I've had 3 different specialists look at it, and they're alarming, very alarming. They can't officially state, until they do the biopsy. But when they do the biopsy, that means they're removing my ovary, and I'm done. I'll be in chemical menopause immediately. So we're trying to prevent that. I've been seeing a fertility specialist. He has recommended a procedure to me that has apparently only been done 25 to 30 times globally in the world. Again, more rare stuff, right? So he would have to work alongside my oncologist, but they already have a working relationship, so at least there's that, right? No idea what I'm going to do. It's, and living in Florida, it's horrific as a patient trying to manage pain, even though I have a number of very rare disorders that are documented to cause extreme pain, and I have documentation going back over like 2 years of these conditions. It's still nearly impossible for me to get pain medication here. Every physician that I've had has lamented to me about how frustrated they are, that they feel like their hands have been tied due to the passage of this new law, which limits pain medication to a 3-day supply, and then if you're lucky, a 7-day supply at a time. But even though I have, again, all of these conditions and most likely cancer, even my oncologist is hesitant to give a 7-day supply, because then the government comes in and harasses the physicians, apparently. So, and that law is just, whoever drafted it had no compassion for the ill or the disabled, none whatsoever. 3 days supply, are you kidding me? If you're that ill that you require that level of pain management, how can you be expected to most likely leave your work every 3 days? You have to, from 9 to 5, whatever, whenever your doctor's available, you have to go in, pick up the physical script, and then travel to your pharmacy, and God forbid, you have to rely on public transport, which many people do. So imagine how much longer that's going to take and what the costs are for that. They risk their jobs because no one wants their workers, employees to be out every 3 days. Oh, I feel like a popular person right now. Unfortunately, I wasn't that popular telemarketer. Anyway, but yeah, at least my vomiting has decreased from in excess of 70 times a day to 20, 30. So the enamel on my teeth is almost all gone due to the constant acidic attack on it. I lost a tooth already from it. I'm gonna lose another. It's just it's almost like, and I can't say this with any authority, but to me it's like feeling like being a leper, but internally, so no one can see that you're literally falling apart. It's just, but they don't understand you, and they don't want to be around you, because it is extremely difficult to maintain social relationships, because at some point a lot of people do take flaking on plans personally, even though it's not. We can't predict how we're going to feel. If you're chronically ill, you can't predict if you're going to be fine within 3 hours. You are fine to do this act on one day, but maybe the next day you can't do the same thing. It's so we don't know, and that uncertainty becomes very uncomfortable for people in our social circles, and we isolate ourselves, or we become alienated many times. So it's like feeling like an outcast almost. It's like you're falling apart, No one can see it, but you're still cast out from it. So it's very unfortunate. I think my body's a lemon and I need to trade it in for a better model because it's just gonna get worse, unfortunately. I guess that's life.